Okay, this is the introduction to the class video. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I just want to go through some of the very basic features of the course to get you going. Make sure that you understand how this course is structured in Canvas. And then kind of the purpose of this first week is to make sure that you are set up with the course kind of what Pearson calls My Lab, which we'll do the assignments, homeworks with, and you have the copy of the online textbook. So this is the student view of the class. You notice we have this course syllabus page, and that includes a syllabus and a specification for the paper, which I'll talk about when I go through the syllabus. Other important things from the homepage, we have weekly material. Now, generally, what I would do is I will post this material on the Friday before the week, and then you'll have like 2 weeks to complete the class material. Ideally, you should do it within the week, but I kind of give you an additional week as well. So let's just kind of have a look at the introduction to the class material. So we have our class instructions for week 1. Which if my internet site was a little bit quicker, we would get to. But here we go. This just kind of, this is my introduction to you all. You'll be getting this as an email sometime today. And it's just telling you what I expect you to do this week. So I want you to read the syllabus. There will be a short videos. It will be a video, which is this one. I kind of set yourself up with my labs. And also I've posted like a little discussion on Canvas. And then just saying, hey, this is an online class, so there's no expectation of you kind of turning up in person or online for anything. But there's a few kind of intro welcome sessions if you want to kind of just say hello or if you have any questions. And I've given 3 times this week, and the idea is, based on your work schedules, I've tried to give, 3 slightly different times. Okay, so, and for these, you need to log into my WebEx. The second thing we have is the syllabus, and I'll just go through this now. And I've actually got this I've got this, here we go, in a PDF in Adobe. So let's just go through this. So this is an online class. Stephen France, I'm the instructor. This is a graduate course with working professionals, so I generally just sign off my name, Stephen, but feel free to use Stephen, Dr. France, Professor France, whatever you're kind of comfortable with. Best way to get in touch with me is via email. I don't really use the Canvas email, so please just use my actual email address, which is up here. And as I said, I'm holding these kind of chat sessions this week. If there's demand, then I will kind of carry on holding them. If nobody turns up, then I'll just do, on-demand office hours. And as I said, you can actually set up individual appointments with me. Now notice that all WebEx sessions will be recorded. This is just kind of for everybody's benefit. So this class is almost like the introduction analytics class for the MBA program. It's a class that everybody does. So it's kind of getting everybody up to some basic level in quantitative techniques and quantitative analysis. And we use Excel as our method of doing this because pretty much every business is going to use Excel. Excel is, you can use it in a basic fashion, but it's actually quite a powerful program in which you can implement a lot of different analytic techniques. Now, another focus of the course, particularly as I'm teaching it, is on this growth of business analytics over the last, say, 5 to 10 years. So, as well as being able to implement these techniques, I hope to give you at least some appreciation of how analytics, the analysis of data, what the potential is for that. Because if you just think, how much data we deal with these days, from corporate databases, social media, smartphone check-ins, even appliances, cars, everything generates data. And it's a huge challenge for businesses to be able to make kind of meaningful interpretation of these data and actually make decisions from the data. So this is kind of another focus of the course, is to give you kind of just some broader appreciation of analytic techniques. And kind of for me, a third thing is we do have an analytics minor here in the MBA program, is kind of for you guys to decide, is analytics for me, and would I potentially want to do this analytics kind of analytics minor. Okay, so I'm not going to kind of just state every single one of the learning objectives, but just to kind of give you a broad feel of where the course is going, we kind of start off next week very broad, talking a little bit about business analytics, what type of analytics systems can be implemented, the different types of analytics. And then kind of after that introduction, we move into kind of practical work. So we start off by looking at business data, looking at how we can manipulate it, how we can filter it, all kind of done in Excel. We then begin to think about how we can get insight into data. So we look at things like simple visualizations, also looking a little bit at statistical methods, just summarize the data to gain inference into the data. And then we move a little bit towards things, relationships and prediction problems. We look at regression, we look at time series analysis and forecasting, all within a business context. And then we'll look at more general modeling. How do we solve problems? Supply chain problems, for example. How do we decide where to ship different products to give us the best profit possible? How do we decide to, where do we locate our retail stores in order to kind of maximize our consumer footprint? So again, we start off very broad and then we move into specific types of modeling. Okay, so this is the textbook. It's basically an online textbook with online exercises. I've got a supplementary file I'll show you in a minute, which will show you how to kind of sign up for this textbook. But literally everything is online. I think you could pay a little bit extra and get a paper copy of the book, but all the kind of the exercises will be done through the Pearson book and their system that they call MyLab. And of course, you're going to need Microsoft Excel, which is free through the university. And I'll talk a little bit about, I will show you a little bit more about Canvas, but we will be utilizing the Canvas system. As I said, the Friday before the week of the class, I'll generally upload my adapted versions of the book slides, a few videos. There'll be maybe an introductory video and a few videos, specific videos and implementing techniques in Excel. And I'll kind of give a summary of class instructions for the week. Okay, so how are we grading it? The exercises are very important. And, this isn't a one-time thing. You do have do-overs. So these are essentially almost your kind of free points that you work through this and you get credit for doing the exercises. The exercises through MyLab. There will be a final paper. I'll show you that in a minute. And the idea for that is you can apply some of the concepts you've gained in this course for, to solve a real world business problem or look at a specific data set. And there'll be 2 exams. And about a week or so before the exam, I'll kind of These exams, of course, will be online. And a week before the exam, I'll give you a full kind of spec and revision guide for the exams. Grade boundaries are the usual Mississippi State grade boundaries. This is just into points, but 90% is an A, 80% is a B, 70% is a C, 60% is a D, etc. As I said, the MyLab assignments, you will have 2 weeks to do each of these assignments. Generally, that's after the first week, it's a good idea to kind of keep up with the class, but you will have an additional week after that. There will be 11 assignments, and I will drop the lowest score. And generally, I will allow the odd extension, but you do need up to 2 per student, but you do need to email me before the deadline and just state that you need an extension and kind of why. Okay, so the data analysis paper worth 15% of your grade. And again, the idea is I want you to get working on a real world business problem, either from your own work or from an interesting data set. I'm not going to spend too much time on this today, simply because this you're going to look at in the second half of the class, because obviously you can't start it until you've covered some of the analytic techniques in the class. And by the middle of the class, you would be able to, do a good proportion of the paper. So we'll discuss this. There is a document on Canvas, but we'll discuss this more as the course goes on. And as I said, the exams, I will give you a revision guide at least a week before the actual exams. So there'll also be kind of a bulletin board discussion. And I will show you this in a minute. And the idea is that you don't have to participate every week. Again, this is just getting to think and show an appreciation of analytics. So I just want kind of 5 really good posts throughout the semester. So again, it's kind of 3 points, but don't forget about it, because it's not 3 points if you don't do them. We kind of have the usual syllabus statements. So just read through these, and if you have any questions, just kind of email me. Just going through the actual preliminary plan. As I said, we'll have a different topic each week. I will upload the material on the Friday before. So week 2, which is actually chapter 1 of the book, will be uploaded this Friday. And I recommend you complete all the exercises by kind of the end of that week, but we'll have a final due date the following week, the following Friday. So that's kind of just going through the topics. You'll see that we have kind of the basics of the class, the basic data analysis tools, and then a midterm exam. We'll then move on to kind of the more complex forecasting techniques and optimization techniques. Then we'll have a final exam, and your data analysis paper will be due to give you a little bit more time at the end of the class. And I've got a feeling that the last couple of chapters will be quite involved. We do kind of have a 3-week catch-up week there. Okay, so that was the syllabus. So kind of going back to Canvas, you can see here I have the discussion section. So we have the welcome discussion. So feel free to talk a little bit about this week. We also have all the assignments here. And you see you only have one assignment, which is what I want you to do this week. And this is kind of the ungraded orientation quiz, which is to get you thinking a little bit more and to get you kind of used to the actual Pearson system. Let's just see what else we have. Okay, so we also have the actual, I give you kind of a little bit of additional sign-up instructions. So to kind of sign up for the textbook, if you go to MyLab and My Mastering, then click Open MyLab and Mastering. Then this document here, the syllabus supplement I give you, this will just kind of work you through the steps of signing up for the course. And if you have any questions on this, then just kind of drop me an email. So you start off by going to the My Lab and Mastering. And let's just go back to the class material. And these instructions are all in my syllabus kind of supplement, which is under My Lab's sign-up instructions. There's also kind of the official handout from Pearson, but that kind of lacks a little bit of detail, but I kind of threw it in there anyway. I've also got the paper specification, which I talked about, and this just outlines the specification for the paper. Again, because we're not going to start this until the middle of the semester, I'll just let you read this and just kind of email me if you have any questions. And then finally, we have the class instructions for week 1. And I'm just telling you here what you need to do this week. Make sure you're all set up on Pearson and My Labs. I've posted the first discussion on the bulletin board. And also just giving you some hours if you want to just introduce yourself and say hello if you have any questions. And to do this, you would just log into my personal WebEx room. I'll make sure I'm on at this time. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the introduction. Any questions, feel free to email me. Just make sure you get yourself set up this week. And on Friday, I will upload the next week's work.